Good morning, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Sunday morning, September 21st, 2014, around 5:45 in Billerica, Massachusetts. It's still dark out. The sun will be coming up in about an hour or so, and it's supposed to shoot up to about 75 degrees today. It was supposed to be 80, but we could get some thunder showers and stuff this morning. Some news to report. It's Happy International World Peace Day, and it's Happy Founders Day in Ghana, and it's Happy Russian United Day. And some news to report. Baltimore Orioles beat the Boston Red Sox by the score of 7-2. The highlight for the Red Sox in that game, Big Papi David Ortiz hit his 35th home run of the season. He's now on the all-time home run list, past Dave Winfield, a Hall of Famer, 466 home runs. His next target is former Atlanta Braves player Chipper Jones at 468. There's a possibility he could tie or pass him this year. All depends. And that's about it on the news. My next subject, my continuation list of the top 10 greatest things of all time, of everything and anything. I have now the top 10 greatest WWE tag teams of all time. The WWE has had some of the most amazing tag teams of all time, and some of the greatest tag teams ever. There's some teams that have not made this list that have to be mentioning, like the Dudley Boys, the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, the Headbangers, and the Godwins did not make this list. It was an amazing list, but these are the best of the best. Here's the top 10 tag teams of all time. Number 10 on the all-time list of greatest WWE tag team champions of all time is Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. They held the WWE tag team titles from September 22nd, 1996 through May 26th, 1997. A good 8-month reign as champions. They were pretty great as a tag team and stuff. They dominated a very weak tag team division back then in the WWE, and they were brothers-in-law, so they come in at number 10 on the all-time list. Number 9 on the all-time list of greatest WWE tag team champions of all time, Rick Martel and Tony Garea. They were two-time WWE tag team champions around 1980 and 1981. They're a very great tag team. They feuded with the Wild Samoans, the Moondogs, and Mr. Fuji and Mr. Saito. Tony Garea is like one of the most decorated tag team champions of all time in WWE history. He held a 5-time co-holder of the WWE Tag Team Championship with 4 different partners. Besides Rick Martel, it was Haystacks Calhoun, Dean Hall, and Larry Zbyszko. They come in at number 9. Number 8 on the all-time list of greatest WWE Tag Team Champions of all time, Money Incorporated. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and IRS. They were 3-time WWE Tag Team Champions back in the early 90s. They were managed by Jimmy Hart for 2 of their reigns, and they were pretty good as a tag team. Very surprising. The $1 Million Man and IRS had great chemistry together as a tag team. Eventually, the $1 Million Man managed IRS when he retired from the ring. Number 7 on the all-time list of the greatest WWE Tag Team Champions of all time, Mr. Fuji and Professor Toa Tanaka. They were 3-time WWE Tag Team Champions back in the early 70s and the late 70s, which they were pretty good at. They were not managed by Captain Lou Albano during those reigns. The first 2 reigns they were managed by the Grand Wizard, and the third one they were managed by Fred Brett Lassie. And very dominant tag teams. Number 6 on the all-time list of the greatest WWE tag teams of all time, the Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart Gunn. Brothers, but they weren't really brothers in real life. 3-time tag team champions. Great defenses they had against Men on a Mission, Owen Hart and Yokozuna, Razor Ramon and the 1-2-3 Kid, the Body Donners, and other tag teams. They were managed by Sonny, the third reign, when they played heels, but I really did not like the Smoking Guns as heels. Billy Gunn probably was more of a heel than Bart Gunn. And that was it. Number 5 on the all-time list of greatest WWE Tag Team Champions of all time, the Wild Samoans, Arthur and Sika, 3-time WWE Tag Team Champions. They were managed by Captain Lou Albano. They dominated the tag team division in the early 1980s, and they were pretty good. Number 4 on the all-time list of greatest WWE Tag Team Champions of all time, the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, and the Dynamite Kid. They had a 9-month title reign as WWE Tag Team Champions from April 7th, 1986 through January 26th, 1987, and it was an amazing tag team reign. That the match the British Bulldogs had with the Dream Team, Brutus the Bob the Beefcake, and Greg the Hammer Valentine at WrestleMania 2 probably was their best match on WrestleMania 2, one of the greatest tag team matches of all time. The Bulldogs had feuds with the Hart Foundation and Big Sean Studd and King Kong Bundy and the others, and they would have had a longer reign if the Dynamite Kid did not blow out his back at a house show in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada in December of 1986. That probably kind of destroyed the tag team, and they lost the title a month later. They come out number 4. Number 3 on the all-time list of the greatest WWE Tag Team Champions of all time, the Hart Foundation, Bret the Hitman Hart, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, 2-time WWE Tag Team Champions. They were the first tag team title reign. They were heels managed by Jimmy Hart, and they had a healthy 9-month reign, and they feuded with the Bulldogs, the Killer Bees, the Young Stallions, and Strike Force. And later on, when in 1990 through 1991, they were faces, and they feuded with Demolition, Power, Glory, the Rockers, and the Nasty Boys, and they come in at number 3. Number 2 on the all-time list of the greatest tag team champions of all time, New Age Outlaw, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws, part of DX, 6-time WWE Tag Team Champions, probably one of the best tag teams of all time. And the Road Dogg would say, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X Party presents to you the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions of the World, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, the Badass Billy, the New Age Outlaws." And Billy would say, "If you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Suck it." And number 1 of the greatest WWE Tag Team Champions of all time, Demolition, 3-time WWE Tag Team Champions. The first reign they held the titles for approximately 16 months, which was the longest reign of all time in the WWE. And they were managed the first reign by Mr. Fuji, part of the reign, and the rest they were on their own. People were called like the Demolition, like Royal wannabes, but they had a different look, like the Road Warriors. They came into the ring wearing like kind of a modification of Jason Hockey mask, and they had like the face painted and stuff. They did moves similar to the Road Warriors, but they didn't like run into the ring fast like the Road Warriors and stuff like that. They dominated the tag team division. They had feuds with the Powers of Pain, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, the Brainbusters, the Colossal Connection, Haku and Andre the Giant, the Hart Foundation, and a few others. And Demolition was probably the best tag team in WWE history, and it was Vince McMahon's creation. People would say they were the knockoff of the Warriors, but they were similar to the Road Warriors. I wouldn't call them Road Warrior wannabes. They were a different style than the Road Warriors. It was like Vince's version of the Road Warriors, and they were pretty good at it. It's too bad that Demolition probably will never be in the WWE Hall of Fame, because Axe, who was real name's Bill Eadie, had a lawsuit with the WWE for many years with the trademark name of Demolition. Also part of Demolition was Smash, Barry Darsow, that's his most famous character, played other characters like Crusher Khrushchev, the Repo Man, and the Blacktop Bully, among others, and also a third member, Crush. And that's about it on that. I'll be back later for 2 more of these video blogs today. which will be about Superstation WTBS and the personality profile Baseball Hall of Fame manager Joe Torre. And these blogs are going to continue to go on and go on and go on. And don't forget, Facebook friends and YouTube followers, if you want a shout out, I'll shout it out to you if you private message me. And if there's something you want me to say to promote something, I'll say it to you if you private message me. Have a good day, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. Bye now.